Well, greetings, hello, and welcome. It has been a minute since we have said that out loud. You know what? It's been 4 years, roughly, since we've streamed, and this game has probably changed a little bit. It didn't even come out 4 years ago, so I don't really know where to begin, but I feel like how is this game looking in 2026 is like the right kind of clickbait. Mr. Star Fox, seeing this notification brought so much joy to see you back. We're back. We're back. We're going to be doing like live action YouTube videos, maybe like once or twice a week. We'll see how it goes, but we're just so overdue for content. So let's jump in. Let's start a new city. Let's see how she's going. Appreciate you being here. And I don't know what map's going to call to us here, but I don't know. I might build on a familiar one. I've been really enjoying Barrier Island recently. For me, though, one of the big problems is like it just bottlenecks so easily having just one big bridge section coming in. But man, oh man, does that make for some fun? Well, if we're not doing Barrier Island, Mountain Village is a good shout. Otherwise, Coral Riches, make some memes about that. Yeah, let's go for this. We get some good weather. Could be getting some winter. And familiar landscape, North American in style. And we've got a few maps happening here. Or mods. We got a few mods. Happening. All right, what do we want right now? Maybe we'll call this one for old school sakes. Oh, you know what we should do, actually? Hang on here. New Lakewood. Oh, yes. That is very clickbait. All right. Let's go for the challenge. This is supposed to be like a pseudo-tutorial style as well. So we'll see how she goes, but maybe I've learned a thing or two, and I can show you guys. Who knows, eh? All right, well, let me know if you guys need a boost to any of the game audio, or if me, myself, am coming in a little bit loud or anything like that. That's right, I haven't built on this map in a while, and I already forget, or like, I forgot how much I dislike this highway coming in. That's one of the one things we'll change. We'll definitely want to connect these dots together, though. Like, keep the rail coming along with it, right? All right. Starting with a budget, starting with a challenge. Let's get an arterial road extended through here. Oh, a little bit of lag. And then given that it's just like, you know, our first stream in air quotes back, I feel like there could be some increases to production value as we go. But I think a good way to kind of learn is, yeah, push yourself off the deep end and see if you can swim, right? All right, so if we're going for like a classic start here, we'll need somewhere to kind of like move the bulk of the highway traffic off so they don't bunch up here. And then where we find our wind is going to be a big factor. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. For where the industry is going to set up. So let's push the industry kind of eastward as we expand our city. And that's kind of like what would happen in real life. Wind goes from like west to east, I think. No, it does. It does. What do you mean you think? So I think the long-term goal would be like have an industrial pocket down here. Maybe some fishing and some boat traffic going up into our harbor in here. But industry should start making its way to the east. And then housing on the west, some shopping in between. And then, I don't know, I feel like if we're going to be expanding for like industry and harbor over here, we'll probably want the bulk of the downtown to maybe feel like it's in this spot. That can kind of be like Old Town or something, eh? Is that my germs? Hello there. You're back. I am. Play the bar. What's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. We're doing live action YouTube videos right now. Keeping it simple. We're keeping it kind of fun and fresh. I'm just so overdue for making content here. It was just so easy to stream all the time on Twitch. Okay, so given that we're North American for our city styling here, let's go a little bit boxy and grid-like. And I kind of want to have like a strong arterial road, maybe follow the curve of the waterfront a little bit here. And that'll give us a chance to put some like key walls and whatnot in, but I think like the bulk of our grid system will be based on these strong lines here. And we could experiment a bit with these, but I don't want to go broke right away. I don't know. I feel like this game, the real challenge is just getting some, you know, decent starter income. Yeah, let's merge these together here. Soul Burstein, welcome in. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Hope the day is treating you well. Yeah, let's connect that together with a nice smooth curve here. And then I always feel like rail as an afterthought is such a challenge, especially if it's light rail. Heavy rail can kind of stay a bit more like, you know, a straight line for longer, but I think we're going to want to keep some corridors and some pockets open so we can sneak some heavy rail. And then I love the idea of this little gentle, like, elevated section downtown for the metro that maybe kind of smooths out into, like, just, like, you know, at grade level and then going subterranean as we expand into the outskirts. And there's not really, like, any hills or anything, but we could create our own hill and make it seem like we've got a, you know, tunnel through that. Otherwise, look at that bangerang of a start, eh? Perfect. That's episode 1 done. Thanks for coming. Yeah, right. Get out of here. Yeah, right. Keep building, mister. Yeah. A port would be fun. It'd be kind of cool to have, like, an old port idea and then have that be, like, reclaimed as, you know, kind of like hipster, you know, like lofts and kind of the cool dude spots and all the breweries and everything. But it would have to seem like it was functional at one point, and then it would have to have some, like, industrial rail traffic coming through for it to feel, like, authentic. But it could be converted, which is cool. We gotta be careful here going straight with the highway. The highway not going straight is kind of an odd one for me. It's very expensive to, like, reposition all of this, but I don't really know if I like that curve per se, but we'll just do our best to work with it. We could also follow the curve of that if we needed to. I feel like indecision sometimes, you know, if you're crippled with too many decisions, that's almost worse, right? Waza, what's going on? Very good to be back. If you can, like, I'm sure you guys know, because maybe you have been checking, but it's been 4 years since a live stream on this platform, and I can't even tell you how many eons since a video, right? Well overdue. Dare I say, even a little bit nervous and intimidated to try again. What a wild thought, eh? All right, so let's keep to some arterial road rules. So maybe like 2 or 3 skinny ones, then we'll do another wide boy street. And that one could just continue and become like a different highway interchange. I don't know. I don't know what it is about that highway. There's just something about it that doesn't really talk to me correctly yet. Okay, well, one of the nicest things for sure to do in this game is just build roads. I get so carried away with like not zoning and just kind of building while we monologue, but that's not the goal here, right? And I think I mentioned before, we do have some light mods running. Main ones are going to be the Move It mod. We've got the Anarchy mod. We've got Find It, just for a little bit of helpies. And I've got just like a random few signature buildings that I've downloaded, some custom content in that sense, and some train stuff, but I'm going for the vanilla experience. We're playing on normal difficulty. I'm hemorrhaging money here for our road maintenance. Let's pause, but the goal would be to get like a small town established, get some money rolling in, expand it, learn a thing or two about the game, see how it feels, and then Bob's your uncle, you know? All right, well, if industry's going on kind of like the east side of the city, we'll need some power coming in. We could have a nice power corridor as well that we could transform into a park. So let's chuck this in. What's a cost-effective one? And we have also added the content creator packs that were available through Paradox. It's like the Paradox official account is what I'm trying to say. I would have been so smart to line that up, eh? Yeah. All right, let's do some anarchy. Control A is our hotkey shortcut. We'll break some rules. Pretend that never happened, but our little secret, right? All right, so power's coming in. Power will make its way across there. We did want kind of like a corridor. That's kind of nifty for trees, parks, bikes. Let's give some of that. Very Mississauga, west coast of Sharana. Tons of these massive power poles that just go through the entire city, and they just made a big old park out of it, eh? Is that Celiang? Hey, what's going on? I like the old storylines. You design Candy and Zardis. I love Zardis. CPP, Biffa. These are great names, eh? Man, these are like OG names, and it's so good to see so many of them still making content, eh? I just moved IRL, and I unfortunately missed out on the Cities Creator Connect that they just had in Sweden. I was kind of following along last minute to see if we could maybe pull it off, but the prices just kept on going up. So I had to sit on the sidelines with tremendous FOMO. But I am really, really, really happy that this game is starting to get, like, a second wind. I don't really feel like it ever, like, fell out of favor, in air quotes, you know? It just didn't really have that strong of a start. I think a lot of people were just kind of waiting for it to pick up the pace. A lot of people were still playing Skylines 1, and we saw some new content make its way over there as a byproduct. All right, well, what's something that you see when you drive in? You see yourself a nice, beautiful water tower. Oh, you do. That's right. Let's get one of these near the main road. Wary of the pollution, so let's not get too close to where that is, but that's kind of a good spot here. Keep utilities separate together. Keep them together. Oh yeah, I sometimes don't remember how words work. Okay, so I don't want too many cross streets for our, like, long boy park, or what do you want to call this. So we'll probably have I think some decent wall-to-wall coverage here. The game still kind of suffers from a few random problems. One of them is, like, trying to fill box squares that aren't boxy. Like, if you're zoning on a curve, if you're zoning on a hill, it is a challenge without the correct mods. There's the platter mod, I believe is what it's called. I still haven't cracked that code yet. So on the surface, it looks fantastic. Everyone says great things about it, but I'm still a little bit intimidated to try it. I like that a lot of the stadiums, restaurants, gas stations, and stores that are on the Paradox mod, I love that too. I think mods just kind of add, like, replayability and long-term. And then delicately, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really have Paradox make a Costco, but someone else could and put it on the workshop. I don't think this game fundamentally needs mods, but it definitely adds, like, replayability, longevity. It helps kind of create a little bit of flair for your city, that little uniqueness. Is that Panda? Hello there. Jay Dizzle, hello as well. I know you. Glad to see you streaming on YouTube again. It has been 4 years almost. November 2022, when streaming was kind of new on YouTube, I was like, sure, we'll give it a try. How hard could it be, right? Dead honest, though, it's just easier to go live on Twitch, but we are very much so missing out on the YouTube content. All right, arterial road going across. Maybe we keep, like, a nice big old box right here for some memes and some fun. Actually, I take that back. What we could do is kind of a classic cities throwback play that we would do. And that was the alternating one-way roads. Very helpful for traffic. So I want that to go a bit further. Okay, so we've been playing for an hour. Do you plan on zoning anything? No. Do you plan on zoning anything? How dare you?
You're listening to Cloud Lounge FM. This is your host, Cantina Forrester.
Okay, so straight to the waterfront.
Temperatures across the region today. Hope everybody out there has.
And then that one's the opposite street. Very San Francisco. Jay Dizzle. Thank you very much. Hey, you right back. Hello. Very good to have you tuning in. Thank you for your support. I feel like the dancing mouse thing is still an issue in this game. Like 90 degrees is sometimes not 90 degrees. All right, the most generic basic start. How dare you? Yeah, I think what I want to do is maybe sink the highway slightly. A little trench, as it were. Otherwise, this doesn't seem like a sustainable play doing this, but we might be able to get... I'm just curious, you know? I'd have to unlock highways and add, like, an exit lane proper here, but let's just test this out, eh? Do you have any recommendations for mods at this point in time? I'm just keeping it light and simple. I've got the Move It mod, I've got Find It, I've got Anarchy going, I've got a few custom buildings just for a bit of the vibe. I think I have one church, a couple train stations, and maybe like one signature building. If you see one of these symbols, it means it's from the workshop. Otherwise, that would be from like a content pack. So just the paradox yin yang kind of symbol right there. That means it's custom content. So just a few random things. All right, we've got water, we've got power. We need sewage, please. Let's put that near the industrial outflow area. This will also have to move soon. Sewage pipe. Excellent. Okay, so we're buying power from the region to start. That may or may not be a good play. We'll see. I don't think, I don't know. I can make the argument you could go for the fences here, put down a coal plant, and then sell the excess, but I don't know if it's worth the investment initially. And I didn't even realize it's actually a really good spot here for a water. Okay, let's get the first people in here, shall we? So you come in off the highway. That should be some commercial. You maybe bank up here to get some residential, so we can start with some housing. Be a nice little backdrop there. I love just like, man, the variety of housing. What do you want here? The UK houses look really nice, just for like big old plots and stuff. And I think we'll want some like little community parking and like that kind of stuff. So we'll maybe throw in an alleyway. Parks. Parks, I wish there were more parks. The Bridges and Ports DLC is kind of like how they did the Sunset Harbor. It's almost like there's too much content in it. I think the price reflects that, but that's got some really good parks in it. Yeah, something like this, eh? That is a good shout, though. We should get some parks in here. Because treating this like a park, you know, like we know it's a park, but I don't think our Sims do, right? It'd be kind of cool if they had like a, you know, grab like 4 corners of a block and then just make it a park. People could kind of go here and just, you know, walk the dog and stuff. Okay. We want to make sure that we're zoning in the same direction. Hopefully one day we'll see that tool where we can decide what side of the road the zoning squares go off of. But until then, we can just kind of cheat with a pathway system. And we'd want just a smidgen of parking, but we have to unlock that first. All right, so UK, let's go semi-detached. That looks great. And then we'll put the terraced housing maybe a little bit closer to the highway. I feel like there have been regressions from CS1. One is park areas. Yeah, it just feels like that stuff is still waiting to get added. Like policies, options, parks, services, different types of buildings. It just kind of feels like this game is like 3/4 of the way still there, but what would make me unhappy is if a lot of the stuff was intentionally held back so that you'd have to buy it with a DLC, which is kind of like, ugh. But then you can make the argument that that's what the workshop is for, right? Okay, I believe we're paused still, yes. Perhaps off pause? Yes, perhaps off pause, thank you. All right, got some variety. Let's press play. The death wave, that's still something that has not yet been super fixed. But then in real life too, right? If everyone comes in at the same time, expect them to be the same age. Having kids at the same time as well, right? All right, these guys will need some jobs, no doubt. Yeah, you can use the road tools to turn zoning. Oh, you can now. It's part of the last update. No way. How do you do that? No way. Wait, where do you see that? Well, one, these are not roads. Oh, true. No way. Bicycle. I feel like this is part of a mod. Hang on. Don't get too excited. That's part of a mod. Yeah, zoning squares. Where do I see that, eh? Tavish, what's going on? Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? You might. You might know me from such titles as How to Start Your City. From 2012, maybe? Oh, it's in the Tools tab. Oh. Like this? Oh. What? Oh, that is so overdue. Yo, I mean, I like the idea, right? It's not quite there, though. I wish we had, like, the, you know, click and drag and select. That's really cool as a start, though. But I think the pathway system kind of, like, achieves what I want a little bit more efficiently. That's very cool, though. All right, so let's go for some commercial up this arterial road here as we scale into our housing. That can be a little bit of a higher density. Is that Hez, who I have uncovered the mystery of memes? No, I can't afford a boat, my friend. Not yet. Also, I feel like boats, I hear often that if you're a boat owner, you have two happy moments. The day you buy your boat and the day you sell your boat. Everything in between is kind of like, why did I get a boat? Or so they say. I think that'd be really cool for like a little bow tie junction right here. All right. Just jobs on the waterfront, I guess. We'll keep this very simple, but I was mentioning before, it's kind of complicated to like zone off of a curve. And then definitely like industry, you know, you want to be like efficient. So wall-to-wall coverage is kind of like a nice approach. And I feel like all the gaps in between buildings, you can't really make that look that great yet, eh? If you sell your boat, is that classified as a sale? Oh my god. Oh my god. Follow-up question. Is live chat necessary? Was the internet a bad idea? Thanks for coming to my Jed Talk. Okay, I'm going to go for a road coming across here. But again, I don't really want this highway connection. So I'm going to sever this link and we'll have like a little cutesy between the two. Also, what kind of boat are we talking here? Eh? If you have like a little pleasure craft, maybe that's not so hard to maintain, but... I don't know, man. Now I kind of like that. Son of a gun. I don't know what to think. I'm going to experiment with this, but I just don't think this is sustainable for long-term traffic. And that might be better off as like a bridge, and then we like tunnel, trench. A boat is a hole in the water you can pour money into. Quote from a friend who is a serial boat owner. I literally hear the same thing. You can be successful, I think, if you have one of those, like, please rent my boat services. Use it for parties and whatnot, but... The bikes are cool. Bikes I like a lot. We'll make sure we use those. So having like, some up and down bike dedicated lanes would be kind of nifty. Oh yeah, jobs. And friends, we're aiming for 2-hour live streams. I'm going to be trying them twice a week. And this should hopefully be our jaunt into making some, like, actual long-form videos as well. But I think a good start is just kind of say, like, hello, get some videos out. These turn into YouTube videos after, so you're very welcome to come back, watch them at your leisure. We'll make sure the VODs are available. And then just early on, traffic control. I don't like this kind of stuff, eh? What if you were to scale that back gently? Just try to fill in the zoning squares more efficiently as well. Like something like that might be a bit better for, yeah, for the sake of the coverage. All right, we got jobs, we got shopping, we got people. Next on board should be some services. But let's go through our first milestone, please. You know what I thought was kind of interesting too with how they did the bicycles? Why didn't they do the bicycle release with the Netherlands pack with the colossal separation notice? I think that should have been just one big thing, eh? All right, well, it's a cute little start. I don't think we have enough people here to really warrant any traffic issues, but we'll keep an eye out for traffic. And then by default now, these intersections don't have a traffic light. So we might need to start adjusting some of those.
Don't touch that dial.
Jan, what's going on? Welcome in. Jan, I hope you're well today. Thank you for tuning into this, a Wild Imperial Jedi stream. First of many. You all can say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. A little bit of waterfront shopping. We can maybe keep this looking kind of fresh. I like using the different assets. Go figure. Variety. Spice of life, as they say. You'll need subsidized houses or else get tent. Yes, that's annoying, but a real factor, right? Not everyone is a rich doctor. Huh. A lot of these are going to be coming from the UK content pack, which are free to download. Platter, I really want to learn how that works, but I have not even... Like, I used it once, and I felt too intimidated. And I'm not opposed to watching videos on it, but I'd like to kind of learn on my own, but just not quite there yet. All right, a little bit of medium row density housing. Maybe put that in here. And then I feel like if this is going to be a highway... Oh, I need to get the road tools unlocked. Oh, that's true. This should not have to be unlocked. This should just be like, you get it. Because I want roundabouts. The superior intersection. Oh, there we are. So ideally, you don't turn left here. You don't turn left that way. This is just kind of going in or out. No, actually, I take that back. Then you're forced to have to go on the highway. Oh, for Pete's sake. You are a walking contradiction. No, I am not. How dare you? That's better. Steven. Well, well, well. Hello, sir. Steven, a pleasure to have you. Hope the day is treating you well. Yeah, so this one here, please. That one, no thanks for the left. No left there. No crossing. And then no traffic lights. So that way you have to kind of flow with traffic. Hopefully we don't get slowed down too much there. Beautiful. It's actually a really good start for being so simple. I like this a lot. Weirder Mystic. This is the way. This is the way. Now, how we doing for the old quay? Yeah, right. The old quay. When I lived in Toronto, old Sharana, if I was downtown, I would have people who are tourists walk up and be like, "Oh, hello. Could you point me towards Queen's Quay?" I'd be, "Oh, you mean Queen's Quay?" No, the quay. I'd be like, "Oh, no way?" No. And then you have to like tell people how English used to be. And it's kind of like, well, this is awkward. All right, services, please. You got it. All right, so a little... I like this asset. This is a cutesy one. That one, close to the people, close to the highway. Maybe at the end of that street. Oh, yes. That's very lovely. Turn around for the sake of the hospital there, too. Oh, the Buc-ee's. I like that asset. I find it to be very challenging to work with because you have to be really sneaky with the way in and the way out. It is just such a bottleneck for traffic. I find, too, when I'm playing with the heavily modded stuff, I'll turn off quite a few of those buildings just so I have them there as kind of like a vibe, but they aren't creating traffic. Sometimes there's just too many entrances and exits. All right, so death care services. Yes, this could be a nice big old cemetery park area. Yeah, that's cool up there, eh? I don't want to move this, so let's just make sure that's... Oh, yeah. That kind of makes sense, right? You come in, like, this is going to be, in air quotes, the downtown. I think right off this peninsula. This could be very nice from one of the towers. That'd be a spectacular view. And then maybe this is a preserved island for the sake of having some green space, but you could, like, maybe drive through it, stop, go for a little meander, have quay walls around it or something. Buc-ee's is a real thing. Buc-ee's is home of the beaver nuggets, right? And they also have, like, I think the world's biggest set of gas pumps at one of their locations. Yeah, isn't Buc-ee's a self-sustaining city by itself? Kind of, right? The size of the asset is genuinely wild. All right, so we're very happy with this. We need more skilled workers. Lack of labor. Okay, so let's keep the zoning going. We wanted some... density going up here. So let's try some row houses. That's kind of weird. You know what? You're kind of weird. Thanks. I think. No, I think so. Wait, do you mean that as a nice thing? I do. Okay. Well, then thank you. This is why the Move It mod was invented, just for the record. Oh, heaven. Oh, that's why it was invented. Yeah, to show how it is confusing. Oh, my days. Listen, Skylines 2, early access. Moments like this make it feel that way. What are you looking for, my friend? Road tools, please. There we go. Okay, I'll take that. Lots of traffic brings lots of tourists. The tourism is an interesting one in this game, because I wish you had more control over what you could zone. Like, it just seems like RNG, and it's based on maybe, like, what's nearby. But I wish we had our own, like, you know, tab for hotels or tourism. They had a good job, like, the hotels, whatever, tourism DLC from the first one. That wasn't half bad. Alright, so I need one more little side street, I think, between these two. Just so you're not going, like, 10 years down the block if you want to turn around. This is the vanilla map. The map in question is Coral. Wow, this game gets so quiet. Whoever decided to have no music when you're in the menu, that one's a weird one. Oh, I don't want that. I'd like to save. Yes, Coral Riches. Coral Riches. Here's some fun stuff here. Oh, car washes. That would be kind of fun, actually, just for, like, yeah, that would make the, yeah, that's a cool asset idea. Now, as far as I know, we're getting garbage services from the region, so let's not stress about putting that down. It's a very expensive thing as well. Let's zone our higher density in the form of some row houses. And then maybe that can be a little park spot right here. Oh, Tropico. What a great shout. Tropico would be a fun game to play one day on stream. Or get a little series going. I feel like they're kind of due for another Tropico soon. Alright, so these are North American medium density row housing. Let's go for that. Also throw in a little bit of the just generic ones. Maybe toss those for longer backyards over here. That did eat up most of the demand, though. And then shopping along here, because I think that's pretty grand. Then if you're a people, it'd be nice to walk to Main Street this way. Okay. So we'll turn off the zoning cell so we can go dead center here, and we'll just bring this in. This one, the game has a sense of humor, eh? Oh, there it goes. Oh. Ah, a gas station. Oh, there is a new Tropico announced. Oh, there you go, then. Do we have a date for that? That's not a bad... Yeah, gently moved over. Is this the makings of the Porter Washington Parkway, by the way? Are we going to go that hard? All right, let's get another milestone knocked out. Let's spend some of those points. Let's quality of life. This kind of worries me. That's a little bit too much traffic going through here, eh? We're supposed to keep it like slow residential traffic. Why ain't they using that way, I wonder? One of the options would be like a roundabout. Let's try that. Sorry, house. Is that John Mary? John, you know what's so funny is I almost did it yesterday, but I was like, no. People would believe it even less. John, hello. Very good to see you here. Still my top commenter. One of them. Oh, look, as an added bonus, we got our dream home back. Perfect. Look at that, eh? A little bit extra lanes there to get your butt out of here. We want to move the parking off that street. That's kind of cute. I mean, the hospital's a busy place, so I kind of get this. Restricting traffic, I feel like that in itself is such a beast. Like, I don't want to say I'm lazy, but I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to the city planning. I like the kind of, like, you know, one and done approach. Just put it in, forget it. Maybe a wider road, make that feel more accessible. I don't know, I feel like if you do a good job with the road, almost said artillery. No, arterial approach, you might just end up with that by design. Like, force people to take, like, the wider roads because it's a better option. Make the side streets meander, make some weird dead ends, have some one-ways, so it's not as, like, efficient. So local traffic only kind of vibe. Soccer Rocker, I remember him. There's so many usernames that just live rent-free forever in my head. That's one of the beautiful things of YouTube, is, like, time is a bit of a different beast over here. Doesn't matter how much time goes in between the episodes or the streams, like, the nostalgia just hits so well here. I have a few YouTubers that I watch that every once in a while just a YouTube video comes out and you're like, no way. No way, dude. Alright, going up in density. That's kind of cool. Close to the main road. Keeping traffic light and friendly. Probably the first bus line can go up and down here too.
We will lay out on our table and show you everything.
Do you have the leisure packs? I have the content packs. I have a few random things. What are the leisure packs? Maybe I do and I don't know it. Alright, unfortunately we are still losing money right now, so that's gonna catch up to us soon. Okay, let's do some... These assets are still a little bit borked. Sometimes the signage doesn't quite work with them. I'll toss it in, though. I believe I have access to the paid content. It's just the most recent stuff. I haven't sought out the keys and whatnot for it. And I'm just a little bit behind on this update just because I just moved IRL. I always feel like I'm coming back to cities, even though I still play cities, like, quite a bit.
107.1 Cloud Lounge FM. This is where it's at.
For our feature story, we're hitting the streets with Kim this hour, who is reporting
Ooh, I
about
love this
noise
asset.
pollution near the city's residential zone. So
That would actually be a beautiful asset here, and maybe kind of tie in a little bit of the older feel. Oh, yeah.
What's that, Kim?
Elementary school?
Not quite coming through.
Elementary, my dear Watson. Yes.
That's still no good. Can we turn Kim up a little bit?
Oh, my. What is this radio commercial, eh?
No, that's worse. Turn her
You
back
moved?
down
I
a
did.
bit.
The perpetual meme of me moving is forever true, but I did actually move.
That was Kim reporting live. We'll be back after this.
Oh, it's a little bit far, but I kind of like that at the end of this street right here, eh?
But apparently that's not all good news. We're joined today by an expert guest.
Okay.
Professor
The next milestone, I think, is when we start unlocking some lower rent housing. What are you looking for? I don't think we have that unlocked yet, eh? No. No. Okay. Are we missing any of our services? I don't think so. We've got death care, health care. Garbage comes from the region. Schooling, excellent.
I like the sound of that.
But what we are discussing is the study of a statistical abstraction and its effect on the human
Thank you, Professor.
It is a question of priority.
And I'm going to put another back alley this way to help out with some more commercial along this. The radio banter is actually great. What I was kind of hoping for was some of the legacy commercials to make their way back from, like, Cities 1. And it'd be really cool to have the Cities 1 legacy random, you know, buildings, commercials, all that stuff. It'd be cool to have them be signature buildings in Cities 2. That'd be kind of like a fun little shout. So if you know, you know. Like steel frame sports and stuff, right? Alright, a little bit of walking. We can line these with some trees, too. I feel like a green city is an important thing to work towards. Green Cities DLC, forever Forever lives rent-free in my head, that thought process. Keep it green, keep it beautiful. Am I importing power? Yes, I'm importing power. I still don't know if it's a good play to import power or to try to, like, make excess and sell it. I just know that we're not quite making money yet. And this part of the game I find to be, like, the most challenging. Getting started, getting financially fit, and then not being like, you know, well, gotta start again now. And I like the idea of the strong grid lines. Let's continue that, but up here. Also helps kind of encourage people to not use the side streets for the full cut through. I think just some more of these, like, you know, lower density housing. Green cities, just the thought of it was fun. The buildings were cool, the maps were cool, but just like going, you know, going from like generic asphalt and like density to being like, no, make some parks. And then Park Life DLC to kind of tie with that, right? Yeah, I do hope a lot of these like DLCs and thoughts come to this game eventually. I wonder if this is maybe too big for the wall-to-wall here. All right, the UK low density in here, I love that. USA low, this is Southwest one, those in there too. The Raceway DLC, I thought that was for Cities 2 when I first saw it. I've only played Cities 1 once in the last calendar year, which is kind of a crazy thought. When you start this way, why are you already thinking of, wait, are you already thinking? Yes. Yeah, I mentioned that when I first started. I want to try to keep some corridors open. Sorry, I can't read correctly, apparently. But having rail as an afterthought is such a challenge. And I think for, like, the meta of this city, we're going to be going for, like, the strong downtown in here. Because the wind, just like in real life, goes from west to east, we're going to push industry to be over here so we're not polluting our poor city. They got great access to the waterways. So big, strong port there. But that would mean that in here, we'd have to have kind of like the old port feels. And so that train line coming in is maybe going to have to meander to the coast and then across. And then, you know, like along the highways, that kind of stuff. You can elevate the rail, run it along with it. Because like in real life too, right? If it's like a simple starter highway, the rail would go close to it, so you wouldn't have to like meander too far out for maintenance, and then it's accessible. And if you're running some like utilities and stuff, that'd be easier to do that as well. Yeah, we want to do an elevated light rail for Metro. Maybe go at grade or below ground for outskirts of the city, and have a strong rail corridor through the city. Yeah, the Old Town, I feel like it's going to be kind of transition, but Old Town should be where we're starting now. And this should be like new downtown, new port. This would have been like, you know, 1910, 1920s, 1930s. This would have been 1960s, 70s, and then maybe like the 80s in terms of like how the story and all that. David, what up, dude? David, we are back. We're making content. We'll try with some live streams, maybe a couple times a week, couple hours. See where it takes us, but we do want some long form content. But I feel like going live and saying hello is an easy way to get started. So hello, how you doing? How's she going there, buds? Hello, Dashery. Hello, I know you. New and old suburbs. We can have some planned ones, definitely. Like in, you know, the old days, the suburbs would be like one farmer's field got converted. You build a cutesy little suburb, and that becomes like a big old block. And then maybe the next block next to it has a bit of a different style. Is that Alex? Alex, no way. Alex Indigo. Hello. Very good to see you. How are you doing? Okay, keep the, I do like these. Yeah, keep the commercial going up here. And then I think we might keep this corridor open for the rail. And that can be like walking past and stuff too. And then we're doing something with the power lines that could kind of transform as well into a rail corridor. You also moved. I have now moved 5 times in 6 years. I'm getting very good at it for some reason. It's almost like it's some kind of game I play. All right, our goal right now should be to become profitable. We're right on the verge of it. Some more jobs, more taxpayers that way. And then we need our waterfront key road still. Oh, man. Yang. Okay, it'd be so cool to have a little kind of like Coney Island. Like, I feel like what was the name of the DLC? That little theme park, whatever. That was such a cute idea. But I don't think the execution of it was grand. I think they need to be a little bit bigger. But if you could do like a little planet coaster kind of esque, build a roller coaster or something for your city, that'd be absolutely wild. And then who knows, right? We have a new developer. Everyone is very eager to get this game back into fighting shape. The addiction you inject into your eyeballs all day, every day. Yeah, waterfront and roller coasters. That'd be so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this one shouldn't be the key road. We should have one scale down for width, that is. I feel like these two going into the same intersection doesn't really sell me on the realism here, you know? A beach. Beach would be awesome, too. I like that curve, though. All right, new plan of attack here. Let's transition this into the key walled. Wide key 4-lane road. And then you guys mess around with the ports, like where you make like the actual, you know, in and out of the port area. You tried that yet? There are assets. Okay, okay. We have some assets already. Not opposed to more. I think our goal is to kind of start vanilla, see how the game feels, feel what's missing, and then maybe fill in some of the blanks with assets. Hello, are you having a hard time? I am. I might need to use the anarchy mod here to help with the key walling. So I'll turn on the anarchy. Control A is our hotkey. We've got key walling on one side. I believe that's the correct side here. I don't know. The width is not a bad thing to transition to there. Here we go. I still find this to be a little bit of a like challenging, delicate procedure when you're trying to transition from like the key wall to non-key wall. We almost need like a few rocks or something there to kind of hide the jankiness. It's just like 10 years of Skylines products. 10 years of, you know? Uh-huh. Yep. I've seen worse, though. I've seen worse, I've built worse. You know, that's not really something to be proud of. Oh. Then, yeah, I don't think that's the right asset then, eh? I think that just kind of continues this way. And then given that this would be, like, the old dock, we'd have to, you know, have, like, a little, like, you know, outcropping. Like, where boats could kind of chit-chat, you know? "11 years now." Oh, that's true. We just had the anniversary. That's true. 11 years of hanging out. Quite a few of us, eh? I like that. Okay, I don't want this to trump me up here. I'm not quite liking how that curve is going. Let's redo that when we've got a bit more money. Let's not stress about that just yet. We just know the waterfront needs a little bit of love. But profitability first, please. I haven't even listened to the majority of these commercials. This one's kind of like, what are we listening to feeling? I love it. A gem of a game. It's kind of crazy too. In the 11 years of Skylines products, not a lot of other city builders have even come like close. There's been some like indie and some cutesy ones, right? But perfect. And we wanted this to be a bit of density. Or no, that was the park. Oh, that's right. Spend your points. Oh my goodness. I am all over the place. So bigger roundabouts, absolutely.
Hello,
Parking,
welcome to
absolutely.
Cloud Lounge FM.
And then I think,
Me, Tina Forrester.
oh, one more milestone.
We got
Okay.
lots to talk about today, but before we dive into today's topic,
402, a YouTube stream out in the wild. First one in 4 years. Seems like yesterday, literally November 2022, we went live. And then I can't even remember the last time we made a video.
What's that, Kim? You're not quite coming through.
Okay, fire station.
That's still no good. Can we turn Kim up a little bit?
Oh my, this commercial is one of my favorites now.
Turn her back down again. There, that's better.
Bookshop.
That was Kim reporting live.
You think the fire station next to the hospital?
We've recently been having what some are calling the worst kind of luck there is.
Yeah, that's a cute idea, right?
Talking about the increased likelihood.
Very Ghostbusters, very New York City.
That's not exactly.
I like that, eh?
Death rate measures.
Either way, if everybody is dying,
SimCity franchise and Cities XL. My goodness, it would be insane if we got another SimCity, and if the Cities XL people got their, you know,
we've got to get out of here.
got their act together and came up with a new product.
Clear up the mess. We'll be back after this.
All right, some
We're
more shopping on here.
Unseasonably high temperatures across the region today. It's quite a heat wave out there. Moms, make sure the kids don't
Oh,
stay
police,
out in the
police,
sun
police,
too long.
police.
Don't
Yep,
forget the
thank you.
sunscreen, folks. And remember to stay hydrated.
But
It's gonna be a hot
how are we
one.
doing for budget?
Can't let
Oh
that decision
goodness.
pass
All
AC.
right, time to tax. So let's say the more you make, the more you pay. Let's start that's a little bit lower. If you are well educated and highly educated, if you are a doctor, you're paying for it. Thank you. Commercial, unos, and then industry, 12%. Let's try that. And then, yeah. I just feel like if they're going to make a new SimCity, now would be the time. EA is working on their public image. There just is an absolute drought in these games. Such a hole to fill. And I do believe enough time has gone by that if nothing else, people would try it for the curiosity factor to see if, like, you know, they got their act together. Otherwise, we have Metropolis, I believe, is still kind of like coming along. And then what else do we have? We got Transport Fever 3, which you could make the argument is kind of a city builder. That one's got some potential, but... Oh, 42, thank you. I don't quite know how the chat works wholeheartedly in YouTube. I feel like YouTube has changed a lot. The live stream experience is better, but I'm just like effectively one step off from like a test stream, basically. City builder adjacent. It does have that vibe to it. I'm gonna put a little corner pub here. Ideally, I like to rotate this though, eh? Or I still feel like the game struggles slightly. Hipster! No way. What up, dude? Can you rotate this for me? Probably. By default, it has top messages setting. See, that doesn't make any sense to me. I might even have that as my setting, too. The integration, though, for OBS and stuff is a lot better. Okay, do you have your next milestone? No, we're very close, though. Medieval city builder. Well, then what happened to Manor Lords? Manor Lords is like, guess what, guys? We're going to rebuild the whole game from the ground up. Oh, when? We don't know. But guess what? It's coming. Oh. Should we play in the meantime if you want? It's like, oh. Oh, good job not announcing it on your Discord. Listen, I can only do so many things correctly, sir. Also, how much more exciting is it to see, you know, the discovery on your own? You're like, wait a minute, I know this guy. Okay, again, not going for too many cross streets here with our, like, long corridor park with the power lines. Profitability? Oh, no. No, my friend. All right, more taxpayers, please. Noticing that we're getting bigger lots as we go up here. I don't think that's bad or anything, but... Loving the Manor Lords updates. Well, like, I really don't understand. It's like the game wasn't bad or any, you know, thing like that. They just said that it needed some work, but they basically rebuilt the game from the ground up like twice now. And it went from like the most wish-listed, everyone was like injecting that into their eyeballs, and all of a sudden it was like, no, let's wait. Timber, yeah, Timberborn. Oh, Timber Life. That's so funny. Zardis reached out and asked if I wanted to test that out, eh? Gotta try to get a schedule for that. That's a really good shout, too. I forgot that he was doing that. I love the Eastern European, but I need, like, a little spot for those, I think. Disable the road. I don't... Yeah, someone pointed that out. Dash, I don't know how I feel. I don't think this is terrible. I don't think it's right, though. Because what if I want, like... I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, what if I want partially? Or if I want to go, like... I don't know. I don't think this is it. I want to be able to, like, draw some squares, maybe. Why no cam? Ah, no need for a cam over here. Not everyone on YouTube land knows what I look like. And I enjoy watching YouTube videos without a cam, so I kind of make the content I enjoy consuming. Romy, hello. Yeah, with the it's not a bad choice. I just find that I get a bit more control over what I want to do with the pathways. If I wanted like skinny front housing here and still to zone off it, and then maybe we had a bit of room in between for like, you know, park and corridor parking. Kind of gives us that option. Then I can choose what side they zone off of too. Yeah, Timberborn. I thought you were going to say Timberborn with the Timber Life. That one I also have not played in a minute, but we tried it just the other day on Twitch. And I found that to be very fun, but very complicated. All right, more industry. Industry is a good source of tax-paying jobs. Can make the argument for some specialized industry. Vitarn, hello, welcome in. How was your day? Miss Jad's camera, well, you'll see it again over on Twitch on our next stream there. You don't have that, though? Your, like, favorite radio show hosts and stuff, you just never look up what they look like because they exist differently in your head? Also, this is less pressure for me to have to make, like, faces and react and all that stuff, right? Okay, the one-way corridors, liking that still. I feel like that road there kind of messes a little bit with the feng shui of the cemetery. I don't know if it'd be appropriate to run like a road to kind of like balance that. How many units is that over? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that was it. That looks better. You have chirpy messages? I find this to be cute, but I hardly ever pay attention. It's just like Twitter in real life, you know? You can glance at it, but don't dig too deep, you know? Looping back. Was the internet a mistake? If you give people an open platform to talk, you know? Like, You do get some helpful stuff there. And then Chirpy is angry because our anarchy is on. We need to do Control A. Paint by numbers. Enjoy. Enjoy and good luck. Measure twice, paint once. When are you getting your kitties? That will be on Saturday. And that will be on a Saturday. Quickly coming in. All right, we're down to 80,000 credits and dropping very quickly right now. I'm a little bit worried. That's a milestone. That gives us some cash. That's some... Oh, also offices. That's great. Tile upkeep is something that I don't really want to spend too much on right away. But it would be nice to maybe buy like that set right there. That's all of our money. No shot. No shot. Okay, we'll keep on building up on your main street. Let's get that going with some offices. I need a little bit of room behind the school so we can throw in the field. How much is that? Sports field. That's going to be a progression with the next one. Okay. Wish I could see that. Well, let's just fill in this pocket here, my friend. There's a mod to add AI to Chirpy. Some messages are supposed to be more useful. Interesting. What an interesting thought. We finally found a case, you know? A usage for AI that makes sense. And what do you do with your AI? I play video games with it. Oh. I don't think we need this much zone, but let's start with that for offices. And then I've now broken my cardinal rule because I said I might keep that open for a rail corridor. Oopsies. So it's going to have to be the waterfront now. And that would make sense too. If this is the old port, we'd have like a bunch of rails coming in. Very wide. Scale down some function though. That's what I'm hoping AI gets good enough to play TTR RPGs. There's Dungeons and Dragons where you're like AI is the dungeon master. I'm not sure how like insanity it would be. Or like, you know, air quotes, real it would feel, but that's kind of a cool thought. You know, someone to play Scrabble with if you're like an old senior, maybe, you know? Yeah, it's not very good. Okay, well, back to the drawing board then. Okay, we got Parks Bud. So again, if it comes from the workshop, it's got the Paradox green-black yin-yang symbol here. Otherwise, it might just show like a DLC or a region pack or something. But we are looking for a little parkette just in here, please. Okay, so let's get the maintenance, large parks, and sports, and then college. There you go. I'm going to put our park maintenance building in just over here with the utility stuff. And then we'll keep that just for a bike lane eventually. And then what is the pocket park that's going to fit right in here? Playground. Cute. Drop the kids off the playground. Get a drink at the bar. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. Well, I mean, maybe, but... Oh dear. Too big. Chirper Adventure Park. Speaking of Chirpy, right? No, it might just be the playground, actually, eh? What's one of these offers a nice little... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's literally it. Perfect. There you go. Let's just do a tree line wall here. You could make the zones smaller with rails. I could, yeah. Or we could elevate. Like some cities, like Toronto, for example, would have a nice, big, strong elevated rail corridor. We could do something like that, even. I just don't want to like take too long to wait to put it in. Or we could put something kind of like a path as like the placeholder. Some oaks in here. Which one's my oak? Hello? Pine, hickory, spruce, birch, oak. Ah. I don't remember if we put a police station in. No, we did not, and I'm out of money. This is honestly not a great start, is it, eh? This is supposed to be a tutorial series. How is the game feeling in 2026? Well, she's complicated, and we're in financial ruin. Thanks for coming. Kevin! What up, dude? Fencing, I believe, is in now. It may be a mod that I'm thinking of, but I believe fencing is now in. And there's a prop line tool. There's a little prop line tool built into the game too. The gap is a little bit less, yes, but we are literally like hemorrhaging money here. So what we could do, which I don't like doing this, but I don't think we have a choice here. We can cut a little bit of the budget.
This is Cantina Forrester, and you're listening to Cloud Lounge FM.
But I really don't like doing this.
We've recently been having what some are calling the worst kind of luck there is. That's right. Today we are talking about the increased likelihood that you'll die.
That's not exactly what an increased death rate measures.
Either way, if everybody is
Okay, more taxpayers, please.
That's a wild overstatement. Are you trying to make people panic?
Some specialized industry would be nice. I don't want that like in the middle of our city though. So I want to buy some tiles for that, but I don't think that's worth the investment just yet.
I'll be back after this.
I might get lucky here and get a bit more density up, and then we can get the tax situation sorted that way.
Somewhere in the city.
Road maintenance services have already.
Otherwise, like I don't
been
know if I'm
traffic
mistaken
flows
here,
should
Kevin. Let me look
become
for you right now, eh?
But if you're
Fence.
planning a quick trip out, you might want to wait a little while until everything clears up.
Yeah. Oh, these are from the workshop though. Okay, so it is a workshop item.
No use reminding you.
But it's a workshop item in the sense these come from the Japanese pack.
Looking like a wet one
Yeah,
today.
there's a UK set. Yeah, some of these might just be available now.
Local weather.
This is the Find It mod to like do our searching. Otherwise, I believe if I'm not mistaken, there should be a tab somewhere in here. You have to put the fence pieces down individually. Because the tool mode doesn't quite work for fencing the way you want it to. But I believe we're making like real strides though for this kind of stuff. Can you raise taxes? We can give it a little bit more. I don't want people to start moving out though, due to my fiscal irresponsibility. But I can boost that by 1 through the board, so 10 through 14. Commercial goes to 12. And let's say industry at 13. And that kind of closes the gap a bit more here. And then offices coming in. That's fantastic. We need smart people working in offices, though, so we might exhaust that pool of talent without getting some smarty pants back in. Always add specialized industry extractors from the beginning. Yeah, I like making money off it, but I don't want to keep like adjusting them. I don't know, eh? And this can be set up anywhere, so you can have a little cutesy farm just on the out of the side of the city, but... Okay, we're going to do one of those, like, you know, the north part of London has some weird holdout farms. So maybe behind the graveyard, we'll have a little holdout farm for the moment. And then at some point, they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to buy this for some housing. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. That's 89. There you go. Perfect. Are we rich yet? Oh, we're closer. Geothermal. That's a cool looking asset. And we could possibly chuck that in over here. We have a really nice little power corridor. And then we're going to be doing a groundwater station in here too for our expansion. So that could definitely be geothermal. And then for specialized industry, what does everything else look like? Oh, okay. I wonder if it might be appropriate to try to like make a little mountain range for some of the ore processing. Oil. Oh, that's gold right there, bud. Stone can be anywhere. That's correct. Can you make round fields? Totally. Yeah, you've got a like a plopping system here, so you can put your own pins anywhere you want. And then they do snap back to the 90, which is nice. You just have to, without mods, you'd have to be within your like boundary circle. Outside of that, it gets a little bit funky. Oh, the church, sure. Yeah, let's put that down, eh? That would make sense there too, wouldn't it? Yeah, Gothic Revival Church. Oh, you know what? That's like bangerang. Oh, dude. I have no money, so no shot. But that would be a perfect spot for it right there, wouldn't it? Oh, I like that. All right, please, more taxpayers. We're so close to getting this. Okay, some low density. See, I don't know. Does that look okay or does that look weird? I don't know, eh? That could be a nice little green spot. And then we probably need a bit more density around the school here. I'm just not a big fan of, like, wall-to-wall. North American style, at least. Ends up being a little bit, like, crowded. So I might scale down some of these buildings. This doesn't feel too claustrophobic in here. Like, these are beautiful assets. I don't know if we need these little front runners, though. Budget's coming around as it takes a little bit more of a dive. Yeah, as the taxes go up, people move out, too. So we got to be careful here. Our population is starting to decline. I think that tells me that we've maybe gone a little bit too much for residential. We'll just pull that down by 2 ticks, and we'll keep everything else up. Encourage more people to come in here, get a job, buy some stuff, help the economy. There's some high-density demand right there. Or more medium, I should say. I don't want to, like, mess with that too much, but that's a good spot, though. Is this actually giving us high demand? Oh, yes, yes, yes. I was like, how can we have that demand if we don't have that unlocked? But we do indeed. All right, so this will be low rent housing. Very, very critical. And then we have a little bit of... that just might be the only... Yes, that squashes that demand. That's perfect. I love these assets. Let's see how those want to come in. Yeah, I think most important thing right now, balance the budget and then start catching up on services. That's police and whatnot, but don't want to go too far down the road without that. Crime is illegal, from what I hear. And then low rent housing. Get another block of that going in here. Oh, that's cute how that came in. Accept in RimWorld? What are acceptables in RimWorld, sir? Okay, we have parking, which we're neglecting. Yes, we are. Okay, let's do a little cute parking lot to go with a low-rent housing situation here. Guys, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. We're so overdue for just any kind of content. A stream is a fun way to start. How this will transition into some longer form videos, we will see. That is the goal, though. We just know that we're happy to have you here. We're expecting to have more streams soon. We're going for 2-hour time blocks to get us started. Hopefully that works out well with your schedules as well. I'm not sure quite yet for what days we'll do it on, but well, that's fun. It helps out with our farming. Nixu, hello, welcome to the stream. How we doing? Pleasure to have you with us, sir. I recognize you from the internet. A sense of humor the game has, eh? Oh, that's better. That's actually kind of nifty. Huh. I like that. All right, so parking, park, cute. And then we want to put in some more low rents. See how that demand kind of goes. Oh, I could use some more. Could we use some more? No, just one's fine, thank you. Chat isn't real, and the internet is a fad. Well, you've heard the dead internet theory. How many of you are actually here and not just a bot, right? Maybe you should check the budget. Yeah, she's kind of going downhill very quickly, isn't she, eh? Just more taxpayers, though. I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful here. But not looking great, right? Could do, Netherlande. I'm a sophisticated AI from the future. Oh, really? What are the lottery numbers then? How do you know if I'm not a bot? Well, they say ignorance is bliss. If I can't tell, like, you know, what am I missing out on, eh? Or something to that effect, right? You moved a lot, so no videos or streams in a long time. You've never done a premiere video. I've done like one, I believe. I just didn't have enough content to kind of do that on the regular, but it just was a lot easier just to, you know, hit the live button and hang out on Twitch all day. But a changing ecosystem demands that we spread a wider casting net to help get the hype into the sales, or whatever I'm trying to say, you know? Nothing wrong with that. And then different content for different platforms for different people. And what's cool, too, is, like, this turns into, like, a YouTube video in air quotes after, and we'll get a little bit more discoverability and some growth that way. I'm not real. Vince, I always suspected that, eh? Panda's pretty real. I can attest. I don't want to blanket this, but I wouldn't mind, like, a bit more on this side. This was, again, going to be saved for, like, a rail corridor that I, like, accidentally built over top of already. So, good job there, buds. Yeah. Well, let's do this, though. Let's reset some houses. Sorry about all that. That's a lot of dysfunction. Good golly. And then so far, like, decent highway in and out traffic, eh? Especially for our little, like, cutesy experiment with these little... Like, I don't even have the extra lane for this yet, right? We need to be more like Biffa, lower the budget, and then raise... Yeah, the budget, I, like... Oh, we're profitable now, funny enough. I don't mind going in and adjusting the budget. I just feel like you should have smaller, more manageable service buildings for a smaller city. Like, you shouldn't just sink your whole budget by putting one police station in. And, like, I don't really want to play, like, you know, Slider Simulator the whole time, right?
This program to bring you a special news bulletin. Increasing areas of
Oh. Forest fire. We'll just mute that, you know? Out of sight, out of mind, right?
air dangerous
Yeah, right.
debris. Citizens are advised to
Okay, well,
vacate
against
any
all odds, we are
buildings near
profitable, so that is
fires
good.
and remain at a safe distance until emergency services manage to get the fires under control.
And then I wonder if maybe, like, one more, like a rock smasher or something kind of fun, you know? How would that look on the waterfront? This is going to be so silly, but it's just going to produce us some cash, so I'm just going to put this in. Don't judge too hard. And then I wonder, is this meta to maybe fill in some of the blank areas, right? Those gaps and spaces between the buildings? We can move it later. Yeah, I have this, like, I don't know. I suffer from not wanting to change stuff down the road syndrome. What does that even mean? I actually don't know, but I start thinking of, like, how the city's going to look like when it's 4x the size, not like an organic growth story. Which I don't think is how you should really play this game, especially with the budget, but... How is Panda not a mod here? No one's a mod here. I don't have any mods, Vince. This is just like, a, you know, we're just out here raw dogging life. Alright, well, 3 speed. Get some cash in here. Let's save up and get a police station. Let's keep on moving with industry and offices. And that was built just for offices. And let's get a little bit of industry in with it, please. I believe there are auto mod protection things in place here, but who knows? You could probably write bad words and I just smile. Please don't, though. Okay, the grid city's pretty easy to build out, as long as we keep on following our arterial road rules. This holdout farm would be kind of cute to keep here, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's pretend the farm really is a holdout. And then we had a little cutesy bend in the road over here, because someone else, like, sold a farm later than that one. I almost want that to, like, S-bend slightly. I don't mind that, though. No, not quite. We'll leave the offset box, please. I think if ever we're stuck, we can spend a little bit of time doing some research on like the outskirts of like a real small town. How do they transition? Do you have farming? Like, what do the roads look like? What are the width? How's the housing? What's the spacing between your neighbor's house? Okay, more housing, please. And then I'm not necessarily going to go searching for it today, but if you guys had suggestions or if you wanted to leave comments like after the video VOD is like kind of done, the stream is over, I'd be happy to hunt down some stuff for like the longevity of the city. Like, or, you know, the big goals we're working towards. And then this is supposed to be like low-key a tutorial style series. We're going to learn together like how the game is, what the mods are like. It'd be kind of fun to like start challenging ourselves more and more as the city develops too. I'm going to put a little parking situation in here. That's cute. That just makes the crosswalk for you.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Increasing areas of forest are being engulfed by flames. The thick smoke rising from the fire makes
Is
the
that
air
forest fire
dangerous.
still going?
Citizens are advised to vacate any premises near the fires.
Challenge
Remain
yourself by
at a
taking
safe
advantage of the
distance until
sliders.
the
Oh my
manage to keep
god.
Fires under control.
Oh my god. No, I just don't want that much, like, micromanagement of the city. I want to think of the city as, like, a bigger unit than just, like, you know, than just that. Pay no attention to the fire. Ignorance is bliss, my friend. Oh, a little sports ball, baby. I love it. I love it. Oh, farmer's market. Oh, that's a cute asset. That's a very cute asset. That's interesting. Oh, an outdoor gym. That's cool. That's not what I want there, though. The playground's cute. Okay, we'll have it just dead end like that. What tennis court? Okay, let's fill out the let's go a little bit bigger with the parks. Who am I to tell you can't play tennis, huh? Tennis, a little bit of a bigger asset though. Maybe we have a big old sports field here too when we unlock like a soccer dog park. Okay, we're going for all of it, eh? Our budget just went positive, by the way. Multi-purpose park. Ooh, that's a nice one. Where's my dog park? Dog activity park. Oh, I love it. And then the playground is where I spent most of my days. Oh, really? Okay, that's cute. I'm with you. That's cute. And let's continue trying to get the density up a little bit along this corridor. So maybe we can put some, oh, the noise pollution. Oh, ooh, opportunity. All right, we want some retaining walls, please. No, retaining wall? No, what's the sound barrier? Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Do we have those? No, we do not. That needs to be highway. Oh, dear. Okay. I liked how in Cities 1, you could put down like a row of trees and that would act as a sound barrier. I don't know if this is going to be enough to help them. If that is the case, that's a shame. I like having the houses like that. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. Is where I spent most of my days. Okay. Did you now? Yeah, it's pretty noisy. And then, I don't know, has this been added? If I put trees, does that help? Remember in Cities 1, you could literally watch the noise kind of like melt away. The one random bar here. The leisure pack has pickleball courts. That's cool. It's kind of random as well, eh? Let's play some... Oh gosh, that's gonna be too many. Oh god! Oh, oop! Forgot your anarchy was on. Oopsies. Anarchy off, please.
We will lay out on our table and show you everything. Then we measure you to your tip, and you will love the thread we spoke for you. A cha-cha threads. You never.
This is one of these stranger commercials. Okay, 3-speed. Does this have an effect on noise?
From 25 stores up,
Not really a
here's
measurable
Katrina
one, eh?
Forrester, and you are listening to Cloud Lounge FM.
And on to our main feature story. The commercial district is booming as the area is attracting more high-end stores, bringing the latest in luxury to our neighborhood. You can now shop for
I'm disappointed this is the case here. So let's switch these over to be commercial. I'll just move the people elsewhere.
That's good for business and good for the community.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back after this. Industry in the region is on the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
Do you guys find that the radio commercials are a good volume?
Temperatures across the region today.
Any feedback is great. Our first stream in a very hot minute. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying, and it's coming out sounding nice and fine. And nostalgic even, eh? Okay, a little bit of density in there, I lied. And I don't suppose any of you are new. You might be, but, you know, subscribing is free on this platform. The equivalent of a follow. Notifications are helpful, you know, when new content comes out. Sounds good to me on my end. And yeah, been waiting for a video for a long time. Trevin, hello. Too long, buds. It's just so funny how time just trucks on, doesn't it, eh? Time just trucks on. Where does it go? Beats me. Where does it come from? I know, right? Steven, that is incredibly generous. Thank you very much. Cheers to new beginnings to you, sir. Thank you very much. You are a gem, and that's very kind. Oh, urban promenades. Those are such beautiful assets, eh? Why don't you use some of these across? Oh, that's a bit of a delay, but that made noise. I did not even realize. No way. Steven, did you know that I made alerts? I didn't even know I made those. I made those. Wow. I made those 4 years ago. Oh. Loving the stream. Was wondering when you were going to stream this game again. Too long. Too long. And the game wasn't in a great state to make anything too convincing. You know, you're a few episodes in and then the game changes and logic doesn't make sense, right? Steven, I did not either. Huh, we learned something new today. Yes, that helps a lot too with the algorithm. Hitting the thumbs up, hitting the like. And the longer the stream is going on for, I'm noticing that you guys are hanging out, the watch time is like going up for the stream. So that kind of means that, it's not a train wreck of a stream. That's great. I love that feeling. Thank you. So glad they made an easier mode. Yeah, I feel like the easy mode is too easy. Normal mode is too hard. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, we barely were profitable. We're okay now. We'll keep an eye on the taxes so people are, like, not too unhappy with us, right? And we didn't have to lean into loans. Loans get so out of control. You know what I mean? Like, that alone, ooh, you know? All right, so mixed, that's going to take up a lot of our commercial demand. Hard to keep those shoppers happy, even though you've got a bunch of people on top of you, which is kind of silly. The highway off-ramp, I will pretend I did not see that blatant illegal U-turn, but This is starting to get a little bit of traffic. I'm not sure if I borked something here, but I'm noticing some bizarre... Uh-oh. Yeah, that's bad. I don't think I can tell them no for the U-turn. I'm going to hit the no left just in case that helps, but... You know, in theory, they shouldn't be U-turning here. I think what's happening, though, is people are, like, going on the highway this way to go to the end to U-turn. But I'd rather not them do that. And so that would be, like, a bridge or something, or, like, a proper interchange. And I think that's a good shout, eh? The extra park stuff. I like how that filled out more. I want to put someone else in here now. I think you're all for the help, eh? It's fun building this together. No rush to go quickly, but at some point we do got to pick up the pace and get a bit more of like the city kind of formulated. The strangest asset, the haunted house park. I don't understand that one at all. It's very cute. Pavilion restaurant's a cute one too. Oh, a little bit too big. All right, save it. You don't even have money to spend anyway. Back to trying to tackle our demand, please. You got it. Demand, demand, demand. I couldn't even see the chat on mobile. Mobile, I don't know how the experience is, but you should have an option to toggle chat on and off, and then it should be kind of like a smart chat or just kind of a how she goes chat. So you'll see every message in order. Otherwise, you can see like the top messages of the day, which is like, huh, what does that mean? I don't know. But I will say this, though. Since the last time I streamed here, the platform is a lot easier to, like, figure out and understand from, like, the back end. There's, like, OBS integration and, like, chat integration. It's a lot more, you know, streamer-friendly. So hopefully it's a bit more viewer-friendly as well. How far are we between arterial roads? Let's put another wide boy up here. Let's do a divided one. And I'm very curious. I don't know how it actually works. I think there's ads getting served while we're live. And then there'd be like ad breaks inserted so you wouldn't miss the content when this becomes a video post. But I'm hoping you guys don't really miss much with ads or how that works. I have it all set to be like automatic right now. Okay, I still haven't put down a police station. Tempted to do a loan to help with that, but just keep on expanding. And then my friend, yes. What about buses? Ah, yes. The elegant form of transportation. I think a cutesy little... Oh, there's some crime. And crime is illegal. Okay. What is with the thumbnail for the stream VOD? It's going to be a default Dan unless I upload something to it, which is kind of the nifty one. So you can upload a stream image ahead of time. But everything is just on default Dan right now. I figured, like, why stress about something like that, right? But that would be something we'd want to start working on, though. So we're starting simple. We'll keep it simple. We'll raise production value. Bar can only be pushed up from here, right? It's a farthest... Oh, it is not. It is not a farthest frontier. It's the old thumbnail. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. No one tells me this until now? I see November 12th, 2022 farthest frontier in your logo. Oh, my goodness. I believe we should try to fix that right now. 1 second. Change it after stream. Let me see if I can maybe change that now. Oh, golly. See, remember earlier when we said ignorance is bliss? I don't know if I needed to know that one, eh? Interesting. Yeah, I haven't the faintest idea how to change this right now on the spot. Huh. That's such a... Oh, my goodness. That is what I'm here for. Oh, for Pete's sake. Well, let's get Farthest Frontier booted up. That's a great... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Listen, 11 out of 10 for production value. First stream back, okay? Oh, my days. It could be worse. It could be worse. At least it's in English, right? But apologies to anyone who's like, oh, cool, Farthest Frontier. Wait a minute, what are you playing? Like, oh, this is a city builder. Hello from Cyprus! MB, what's going on? Been a long time. It has been a very long time. Too long. Too long. I'm very embarrassed how long it's been. But, gotta start somewhere, so here we are starting back again. Appreciate you tuning in. Say hello. Hope the weather is beautiful. And stay hydrated too if it's a hot day. These aren't very long backyards, but that'll look nice, I think, with a row of trees behind it. This game is missing golf courses. Yeah, I agree. Golf courses, little like theme parks, you know, action adventure land. There's a lot of stuff that they could recycle from the first game, DLC wise. A lot of stuff that could just end up being workshop content if the game company's a little bit lacking in. I like our little one-way corridor through here. It's good for traffic. Crime. That's right. Crime is illegal. Let's stop crime in its place. All right. Services are more or less in this quadrant. So why don't we keep them kind of together so they're easy to check on as a team. Police station just a block away. That's not a bad spot. Oh, I'm getting a pop-up about... oh my goodness, Pipster! Pipster! That is incredibly generous. I have no words. That might be a delayed pop-up cash jingle sound. Hipster, you're a legend. That is incredibly helpful. Incredibly generous. You deserve something in this town in your honor. That, I literally made alerts. Listen to that. That's cool. Hipster, thank you kindly. We are indeed, most likely, I don't want to, you know, we're 99%, but we're getting kittens this weekend. That's very cute, very exciting. That's very helpful. All right, let's get a landmark in here. You have $0. Well, I might take out a loan for Pipster's, oh God, these are millions of dollars. Pipster, let's work on something. Let's work on some. Yeah, we need some cash money here, buds. And then please, crime is illegal. Could the police do their job? Thank you. Have you got the new DLC for Race Day? I have not touched anything CS1 related. We are still working with the company. We're under the NDA. We still love Paradox. We're very sad that Colossal Order had the breakup. But we do get access to that content. I just haven't seeked out any keys yet. And I initially thought that was going to actually be a Cities 2 DLC. This is something that I wish you could have had a bit more control over. But this parking lot is like very sought after. And then people cross in front of traffic. I don't like that. I wish we had a divider for our one-way roads. Or, sorry, the two-way traffic. We could make this a one-way. That's what I was going to say. That could be a one-way to help out with the flow of that traffic right there. I thought you died? No, the rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated. No, I just, I got stuck into the habit of just going live over on Twitch. It's a very easy, you know, platform to kind of have some fun on. But we just cannot neglect YouTube, for goodness sakes. You know what I mean? Worked so hard for so long and then just kind of gave up for a bit, which is terrible, you know? So I'm embarrassed and I apologize. We're back. And it's kind of a weird one. Like, the drought of content feels like it wasn't that long, even though it has really been a while. All right, I mentioned this before. Buses, great way to kind of deal with some traffic here. We're profitable. We got some demand, but I think maybe a little bus depot might be helpful right now. It's going to take a loan out, though, eh? I feel like this is a worthwhile investment in the city. Let's take a loan out. We got some good money. 150,000 is what I need for the bus depot, so let's start with that. That's very affordable relative to everything else. And then this should make its way over to the industrial side. Oh, that'd be grand if that fit right there, eh? Do I use TikTok or Patreon? Patreon, once upon a time, we still have it going. But I would kind of push people to help, you know, support via Patreon. But that was before, like, Twitch got, like, a sub button and all that stuff, right? And in my mind, the Patreon is a good team for YouTube. And we have a Discord as well. I'm not sure how I feel about exclusive content or any of that kind of stuff for, like, you know, paywalls. But if anybody wants to support, obviously I won't stop them. But the main thing is you tune in, you have a good time, you keep me company. We'll go from there, you know? And then TikTok, the idea of it, I like. There's some weird restrictions on that platform, so I'm always worried that, like, I'll make a joke and it's like, well, straight to jail. So I don't know. I've streamed on TikTok once, and I found it to be, like, very, very fun. Like, the action, the energy was very fast-paced, but you just end up repeating yourself a bit more frequently than on the other platforms. I think people's attention span's a little bit less on TikTok. And so I went live with Leader of the Monkeys for a DLC event for Cities 1. It was either a DLC event or just some kind of event. And her and I went live for like 2 hours, and we had like 2,000 viewers or something crazy like that. It was like, I deem like a super success. It was just like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And then to translate that to another platform, I find to be a little bit challenging. Are we going to keep that highway? Because if we are, we got to start doing some curves to go with it, eh? GoFundMe, I've never tried it. GoFundMe, if you're not like an actual charity or an organization or something, they take a very big percentage of it. I feel like a GoFundMe is good for like an emergency or like, you know, you need to raise some money for like, you know, veterinary stuff or whatever, right? But I think for like generic fan funding, just too much gets taken out of the cut. But the dream would be like, you know, we have enough people watching the ads on YouTube that we can kind of help support the system that way. We have some corporation be like, hi, I like you. Can we just drive a dump truck full of money for you to say nice things about our product? I'd be like, oh, sure. Sure. So you never know, right? But unless we try some stuff, we won't have any data. Okay, so I think yes for the highway for the moment. I like that. It doesn't have to be a super perfect blocky box the whole way. And we need to think of a little bit of terraforming to make this feel like it was an old port. You ever done multi-platform streams? I tried that before too. I found it was a little bit challenging to kind of like split your attention. And then I do genuinely believe that the different platforms deserve different types of content. People consume them differently. But I'm not opposed to it. We have a different YouTube channel that we're going to try experimenting on, but my goal is to make a Twitch stream feel like a Twitch stream, a YouTube stream to feel like a YouTube stream. And then TikTok, I don't know, cautious optimism, right? I'm going to drink some coffee, guys. Stay hydrated if you need to. The sunken highway. I like the idea of a sunken highway. We could keep the shape of it and then just gently sink portions of it. And we can do some... oh gosh, it's like a viaduct kind of style almost, where you have like, I don't know how to describe it. I almost need to like find some pictures to show you guys, but I've tried some really cool nifty things with the mods and the rail. So we could do the same thing for some sunken, yeah, sunken rail and sunken highway together actually, now that we're thinking out loud here. Coffee is fantastic. Every day, at least once, I have to make that declaration. I'm always just so impressed that we refined that product. Like, coffee could just be like you're chewing the coffee beans and drinking water after, being like, well, it works, but God, does it taste terrible. Fire roasted fruit pits. Ground up. Run with hot water. Like, what you know what I mean? Like, on paper, you're like, no. What? No. Yeah. No, you're not. Okay, for the sake of traffic, please. Since the highway's going to stay in my trench, let's bring this up. I wish we had Transport Fever. You guys who, if you know, you know. So Transport Fever, you can draw a bridge or a tunnel. You can press M and N, and then it adjusts the, like, the curvy point where you want it to be. Like, I don't think I'm explaining this at all correctly, but very satisfying. And so I'm very hopeful for Transport Fever 3. I wish it was more of a city builder. And I don't mean to be critical, but I also don't really understand why they're doing another Transport Fever. if that makes any random sense. Because Transport Fever 3 is going to be the 4th one in their franchise now. And Transport Fever 2 is incredible. So Transport Fever 3's got some big shoes to fill. And then from the looks of it, it does kind of seem like it's going to be a very polished version of Transport Fever 2. But then, like, Transport Fever 2 didn't really blow up the franchise. So even if the game ended up being effectively Transport Fever 3, why not just call it something different? You know, like Transit Fever. Or like, you know, Urban Transit Empire Free. You know what I mean? Just something, eh? MJ Haas, hello. Welcome back to you. What's up, dude? So I'm hopeful. And we'll probably see some streams and some content for sure for that. But I would love to see another city builder, eh? I think I like the idea of that one going underneath. And then we extend the bridge a little bit more. And then just take advantage of that little... Or we could sneakily move the road over. Ooh, I like that. And then if you could, just remember to leave a little bit of room if we wanted to maybe put a train through here eventually. That's right. Okay, I'm going to take it off 3-speed. We've definitely made a little bit of money back here. Our goal was to get some buses in. I think I got distracted. I built out a road to put a bus depot in. What happened to that thought? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, honestly, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I don't want to say ashamed. You know what I mean? It was so much easier to just go live on Twitch. Like, the elephant in the room is I've made content on this platform in eons, and I'm just, you know, I wish that wasn't the case, but when better than today to start, right? And we did have some people come out and seek me over on Twitch, being like, "Oh my God, you're still alive!" And yeah, you know, but that kind of goes in like, you know, make the different content for the different platforms kind of thought, right? So whatever content you enjoy the most, you're very welcome to consume it. And I'll just do my best to be as consistent as I can on all the platforms. So scheduling would be like the next step from this, you know? Pipster, that is correct. There's a, on our Twitch channel, we have the meme that if you bring up the YouTube channel, it's a graveyard. It's so bad. Anyway, listen, all right? You know, I can only apologize so often, but here we are. First day back, baby. And we've connected some dots. We have you guys here with us, so that means something's working. We're not entirely blacklisted, right? No, get out of here with that. That's kind of nifty, and it gives us a reason to kind of break away from that, like, perfect grid. If your city is just, like, North Korean style, super planned, every single road is like immaculate, it just looks weird. Snow Squirrel, hello? Hello, welcome in. How we doing? Some games have Twitch integration. Yes, I don't know if that translates to YouTube integration, but that is a fun feature. Twitch just does a great job at being a live streaming platform. And then YouTube is catching up when it comes to the live streaming, and then YouTube live streams become YouTube videos. You get like discoverability and stuff. The Twitch VOD, when it's done, doesn't really get the same kind of like views the way a video would. Okay, this is a pretty nifty setup here for the road. Let's get the buses going now, please.
Now entering Fit Digital Games. Prepare for sensory overload.
Did you just literally eyeball that correctly? Incredible. Matthew, you didn't say anything. Well, I didn't think I'd be gone for that long. In my mind, it was always like, oh, you know, in a week or two, we'll just make a video or, you know. But yes, every night when I close my eyes, I'm aware of the fact that it's like, you abandoned YouTube. And I'm like, oh, God, please. I'm trying to sleep right now, dude. Okay, postal stuff. That's cute. Telecom's also cute. This is good quality life here we can put in.
We have all the finest silk.
You got the job, Squirrel. Congratulations. Let's go.
We will lay out on our table and show you
It'd be cool if the name of the city was on the water tower. Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. That'd be so cool. Can you do that, I wonder, eh? You can put stuff on it. Welcome! Oh, that's so dorky. That's close enough, eh? cried so much I was happy. Skrizzle, that makes me
Good
incredibly
morning.
happy to hear. You are very
Good day,
deserving of that.
Or good evening, depending on where you are. This is your host, Cantina.
Okay. We are
You're
very close to the
listening
next
to
milestone. Maybe
Taxation.
grab that
I
and
had a
then
phone
get the
call
buses
from
in
one of
place.
our listeners this morning.
Because I feel like we got to figure out now where we're going to have like one of our central train stations. It may not be the terminal train station, but if we're going to have like waterfront rails, maybe a waterfront train station, and then that pairs with a bus depot.
Reflected on that, but give me another song, and I'll be back with my reflections in this delicate subject.
Okay, let's see if we can do
There's
this
another
here.
song.
Trains are going to require an unlock, correct? Yes. There's your trains. Trams.
Sinking this
Ooh,
boat, Glenda.
beautiful. Trams,
We're
I feel like these
nearby,
two should be
and
maybe
we're gonna give
different
reports
spots,
about a
eh?
traffic accident,
Hmm.
somewhere in the city.
Road maintenance services have already been dispatched, and traffic flow should return to normal. But if you're planning a quick trip out, you might
Local
want
bus
to wait a
station.
little while until everything clears up.
If
I'm going to
you're
go back to
looking
3-speed
to,
here. I'm going to try taking out one more loan. We're very conservative about this.
Meanwhile,
That can just get so quickly out of control.
A chilly day with temperatures a little.
It's a weird one because trains feel like they should be unlocked already because trains are like not a new invention, and your starting city should have some rail corridors. It's always difficult to add this kind of stuff as an afterthought. You hear me say this all the time. So keep areas open. We did that a lot in Cities 1. And just kind of like, you know, oh yes, of course. And then we'll chuck it right there. But then like you don't unlock a lot of stuff till later. And this is not like technically how a city would have started, right? You'd have access to these things. A city would be because of the rail, perhaps. Or maybe this is like a coach, you know, back in the horse-drawn carriage era, right? Gents, what's going on? Recently been back into Cities 1. Cities 1 has aged very well, and to the surprise of everyone, has gotten some really cool new content. So I feel like we got to go back and just check it out. I have played it once as a meme for on Twitch once in the last calendar year.
This is an emergency broadcast.
Otherwise, I am just shy of the magic number. I have 6,800 and change hours. I need to get to 6,900. Then I can uninstall Cities 1 and say that I did it.
At this time, all citizens in
But I
the
was kind of, yeah, like
area
the racetrack DLC. I wanted that for Cities
stay
2, right?
until the situation is under control.
Yeah, I think that's okay like that. There's a historic start mod that unlocks trains at just the start. But yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think this feels like, you know, this feels like arcade style city building. If this was a true city builder, we would start at the frontier times. This would be like a colonial old school fort or something, right? We had just like really simple like timber walls, cutesy turn of the century buildings. We'd eventually make a brickworks, you know, and like it would be more like the transport fever. You go from the 1800s to the now time. That would be really, really cool. Technology, the story of your city would just make so much more sense because of the evolution aspect of it. Okay, quick chit-chatting, get some more people in here paying taxes, get your milestone, get your buses. Civilization, but Civilization isn't really a city builder. It's more like a vibe game. Rise of Nations, I'd say maybe would be the closest comparison, but that's like a game from like, you know, 25, 30 years ago. Davis, thank you for tuning in over here. Do you not already have a YouTube account? How is that? Okay, keep the density scaling correctly here, please. And again, these like wall-to-wall, I might break some of these up. You take one tower out, you put a little cute park or something there, you know? Davis, hello, welcome. How are we doing today? Ever played any of the Cities in Motion game? That's what started me in all of this, eh? Cities in Motion. I don't even know how and why. My stepmom had that game on her computer. She didn't even play it. I don't know why she had it. And one day, I was like, Lily, can I use your computer? She's like, sure. I was like 12 or 13, 11 or whatever. I don't even know when. And I was just like, what is this? She's like, oh, it's like a transit thing. You like put transit stuff over set. I was like, huh. And I remember just being, like, addicted to Sim City, right? As a kid, and then just play that, and I was like, oh my god. And that for me was, like, the jaunt that started the transit thought. Like, you know, how do you even do proper transit in a city? You know, like looping bus lines that are just like a straight line and stuff, right? That was a really, really, really cool game. I don't know if Colossal Order has the rights to that game, or if Paradox maybe still has them, but that could be a title that Colossal could create. And that would just be like a bangarang for them to come back with. I don't know if we've actually heard from Colossal since the breakup was announced, and it's just a very still. I cannot believe that's just how it is right now, you know? Because if you're Colossal, what do you work on, right? Like, Paradox has got some fallback titles. They've had a few flops since they're in need of something kind of like, you know, to win these days. I think in air quotes that would be like, you know, the comeback story that is Cities 2. But Paradox, they tried the Lamplighter Society. That didn't really go all that well. Victoria 2 had a little bit of a goofy launch. I think that's kind of come around, but I do hope Colossal makes it, man. They're such, like, awesome, beautiful people. And it's such a weird one, because, like, Colossal is Cities, so it's kind of, like, awkward, you know? It's like mom and dad have broken up, and you're like, do we get 2 Christmases, or how does this work? So I hope we hear from them. I hope they have a success story. But the last I heard was that some of the people from Colossal jumped ship and are now working for Iceflake and Paradox. Bloodlines 2, that's true. Bloodlines 2. Yeah, a lot of the sequel games just do not live up to the hype of the first one. It's kind of confusing. There's a VR version. I've not tried that. I still have not played Cities 1 on console yet. Friends, we're coming up on our 2-hour mark, which is what we're aiming for our stream length. So I might save the buses for our next adventure. That'd be a really great way to kind of start and kind of keep the episodes a little bit more focused. This is a, like, really good start to a city. For us just kind of monologuing, getting the feel for it again. Let me pay back some loans before I get out of control here. I don't want to just abruptly end or anything. So if anyone has any, like, last-minute questions or anything, or we can kind of go over, like, the day's agenda and our thoughts and everything all over again here. Kind of like the midweek wrap-up, you know? Let me put a few more people in here. But I think our goal would be, like, twice a week. We can go live, keep on working on this city. We can start building some experience, get some thoughts together, get some questions. We can do some purpose-built content to kind of tackle that stuff. We can try some different games. I feel like I'm best known for, like, these kind of games, so let's start playing these again. And then who knows, some early access titles. Like, the sky is the limit. And our goal is just to kind of grow and have fun on multiple platforms. We'll make different types of content, and we just hope to see you. I really appreciate you guys being here for... I was, like, a little bit nervous to press, you know, the old go live button, eh? Remind people that you are live on Twitch regularly. Yes, so Twitch 3 days a week, YouTube twice a week, and then we'll find the balance. There will be, you know, there will be some semblance to this order. A little bit of growing pain in between, but that kind of adds to the fun, you know? That's our milestone. That was our goal. That's fantastic. And then I think garbage also, because that's starting to catch up with us too, eh? That's cool. So buses, public transit. That'll segue into some more Harborfront, Old Town kind of feels. We'll need to get some tiles bought. This is where most likely the terminus big train station is going to be. Want to, like, build the downtown. As the city grows and progresses, just because of our wind direction, just like in real life, you know, the wind goes from the left to the right, west to east. We'll keep on pushing industry away. We'll reclaim this portion right here. We'll have to, like, clean it up and all that, but functional working cutesiness. And then new ports all the way over here. The train is going to have to make its way all along the waterfront to the new port. We're going to have to stop off at our central station. We got to make sure we don't just zone all of this, because then where does the train go? And then we need some elevated metro. We need some trams. Oh my goodness. We need some suburbs. We need some farms. Boy, how do we need it all, I think, eh? Yeah, that's kind of what happens when your city is new, isn't it? Well, last piece of agenda. Let's pay off our remaining loans. We start fresh in our next one. We have a strong budget. We have a growing population. That's really awesome. We have some beautiful folks here to help out with the vibe. We appreciate you all being here with us. Yeah, off to a good start, eh? Not too shabby. We got some cute parks, some happy arrows. That's density. That's levels. I like that. Oh, I know what we need. The last thing here. Hang on. The old sports field there, bud. That's right. Can you buy me that? Absolutely. If you guys are watching this as the VOD, we appreciate you. An air quote to the YouTube video. Oh, for Pete. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. That has to be worked into one supersized park now, eh? That's cool. Now we have a city. I like that. Well, friends, it has been a pleasure. I have to fix our thumbnail. Don't want to forget about that. I don't know what day our next stream is going to be. Not too long. We have a long weekend coming up here. You might have one as well. Hopefully you enjoy some time for rest and relaxation. And then Panda and I are getting kittens this weekend too. So that is incredibly cute and awesome and fun. So we'll see how that unfolds too. Might have some cat photos in the description or something. I'm not quite sure about a cat cam. We'll see about that kind of stuff. That for me is more the Twitch sphere. And I don't want you guys to feel like you have to make your way to other platforms. I just want to give you all opportunities to enjoy content at your leisure on the platform of your choosing. I am leaving. I'm trying to keep these in little bite-sized morsels. Long videos are sometimes intimidating. And I feel like for us, that 30 minutes to an hour is a great length for a video. 2 hours for like a little casual live stream series. Not too bad. I miss you already? Shucks. November 12th, 2022. That was the last stream. That is true. That is true. It probably won't be that long in between our streams again, right? But this is officially the end of our first episode of our little starter. How is City Skylines in 2026 looking? City Skylines 2. We're off to a great start. We have some great ideas. We'll see this continue. And we'll see you in the next one. Well, thanks for being here, guys. You have yourself a great night. Drop some comments. Come visit us elsewhere. We have a Discord which connects everything together. And maybe we'll see you there. Yeah, like and subscribe. All that is very helpful. Is that a tornado? You're kidding me, right? You're okay. The good news is it's not in the downtown, but huh. All right, well, love, peace, and hair grease, as they say. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You're all very beautiful people. Stay hydrated, spread the good word. Come see us again. Thanks for spending your afternoon with us. Have yourself a great night.